Hi, welcome to Think Human. I'm Chris, and in this video I want to talk about a book or show you a book. And this is an astronomy book, and this is an astronomy book from the Soviet Union. So I'm from a little small country called Estonia, has a population of little over 1 million people. It's near Finland and Sweden, and one of the closest land neighbors is actually Russia. Estonia got its independence in 1991. 3 years after that I was born into the independent Estonia. And it's interesting. So this book right here was released in 1986. And 1986, so it was still in the era of the actual Soviet Union, and this book was made in Estonian for Estonians, and yet it has a lot of Russian influence, so it's interesting, and I just wanted to show you. And it has a lot of cool illustrations. In here we have Mars. In here we have Jupiter, Saturn. Down here we have the polar caps of Mars. That's cool. This is some kind of a cool moon eclipse. So it's interesting about this book. It has a lot of subtle kind of hints of kind of Russian superiority, and I will show you in a moment what exactly do I mean by that. It's interesting to see. So for example, here is a picture of a telescope, and underneath it has written that this is the telescope in the Moscow University. A lot of discoveries have been made with this telescope, and it's one of the top-notch ones in the world. And it's funny that they say so much about Moscow when this was a book for Estonia, when today it's a completely separate country, but back then it was almost like a satellite state of Russia. So it's interesting where the focus was. Here you can see a beaver made of stars. Ain't that something? And this is a wormhole going into a black hole. Not really, it's just how the stars look like if you take a long exposure effect and then the Earth turns, and then you see all the stars kind of go like that as well. What else we have? We have some constellations. Talks a lot about Newtonian equations and the solar system. Talks about the history of when the Earth was the center of the solar system, or well, the universe. That's always fun to see. It has also pictures of a lot of astronomers from Russia. Here we have the picture of the Earth seen from the moon, and down there's just a picture of the Earth from orbit, I guess, by a satellite. Here is a radio telescope. It looks kind of unique and interesting design. Actually, similar ones have been made, but essentially how they did it now in recent times, they can make a really large gathering area for radio telescopes by taking this kind of thing, making it smaller, but putting it large distances apart, so you can have like many square kilometers, and you just put one here, one there, and then they all gather data simultaneously, and you can put all those pictures together, so you can use many small instruments that are set apart, put all that together, and then you have like big radio telescope. Here we have the Earth's magnetic field. That's really cool. Here we have the Northern Lights in black and white, beautiful quality pictures. Here we see craters on the moon and just stuff on the moon. This was the Soviet moon module kind of thing. Interesting stuff. Here's the moon, here's the Mercury, I think. Yeah, moon, Mercury. Venus is here. Here's some cool illustrations of how the moon shadow and eclipses and stuff like that work. Oh, so here is an actual illustration of one of the smallest asteroids compared to the Moscow University. So that's quite mind-boggling how huge these things are just flying around. And here are some orbits of some of the biggest asteroids that are flying around. Got some cool stuff here, a meteorite, some kind of crater. Is that the Arizona crater? Yep, the Arizona crater is there. There's some gas in space. It's like fireworks. It's like meteor shower. A lot of cool illustrations here. Schematic of the sun where the nuclear reactions go on, then the outer core, then the convection cycle where the fuel circles around, and then the chronosphere or whatever. It's really interesting. Here we have the photosphere of the sun with the sunspots. Here we have a nebulae. This is the Crab Nebula. Interesting if you look how far technology has gone. If you look at this picture and this picture taken in recent time, incredible difference. What technology can do. I mean, granted, this is like from '86, but still incredible. Here's our own Milky Way. Quite pretty picture. They're all in black and white, but they have quite good contrast, at least with the naked eye. So here is where we're at in our Milky Way galaxy. We're somewhere around the edge, and here we have some other galaxy groups and stuff. What else? We have a Horsehead Nebula. And again, we can look at this picture like it is, and then one that's actually made by recent times. It's quite incredible what difference it is. One is just a black and white kind of blob, and the other one is like highly detailed, beautiful things. Here is a bunch more gas in the cosmos. But yeah, during the whole book, essentially the idea is that Russia is the best and scientifically most advanced. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's propaganda if you ever seen it, but it's subtle. And the book itself, it explains things really well, and it's not like they have like bad science or something. It's good stuff. Here is a scale from smaller going bigger and bigger and bigger. This is Moscow in the center. Here's the formation of the solar system when you have gas, and then it kind of clumps together into actual planets and stuff. And final two pictures, one is the actual star and the spectrum lines of the star. I think it's really cool how it's drawn. And here we have some kind of other nebula or galaxy kind of thing. It's cool. So this is just a short overview of an astronomy book from the Soviet Union, which is interesting to see, and I just happened to have it in my room. How weird is that? So I hope it was interesting in some way. If you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.